You've located everything we need.
He's got to be building something. He's taking whatever he wants, killing anybody that gets in the way. He's stealing pieces of tech for God knows why. We have to figure out what he's building right now.
We can lead them on the true path.
Clifford, the plan is to save them.
We can't save everyone, my love.
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got some new Flash to break down. Accelerated Man is back. We're going back to Mercury Labs, and we got some more clues for what's going on with Coffee Shop Girl because of this notepad here. This may look familiar because it's the exact same one that Coffee Shop Girl is scribbling those Speed Force symbols in. So if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get all the DC videos. There's a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway too. All you have to do to enter that is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. You may have also noticed the big thing too, this was a big question on my last Flash video about Killer Frost's abilities. Because of the way the Thinker absorbed the power swapping meta, there was a question about what happened to her powers after he took them from her. Because people were like, wait a minute, he only swaps DNA, like what did he do with those powers? But here you see him using a giant blast of frost, so it's pretty clear that he's using her powers himself, which I think, might be a small continuity error. Maybe they'll explain it during the episode, because it seems like a big surprise, like he just takes them down while they're inside Mercury Labs trying to stop him. The other very obvious thing is that Gypsy is back to help them out because she gets part of this big fight. That's probably where we see Accelerated Man, so we might travel to Earth 19 to see him. But I have a feeling that they didn't put him in the trailer because he might just not be a huge part of the episode.
Tractor down on Earth 2. Breach is taken care of.
Thank you.
Risky move coming to an Earth where interdimensional travel is punishable by death. Especially when I'm the one who's supposed to uphold that law.
I need to talk to you.
I don't do long-distance relationships.
Don't get me wrong, this is something I'd love to talk about in more detail, especially if this is your only hesitation. But I'm here to talk about Grodd.
Many thanks to the director for posting these behind-the-scenes pictures, because ever since the end of Season 3, one of the biggest questions that I've gotten about old versions of The Flash coming back is when is Accelerated Man coming back? Because, one, he has one of the coolest costumes, so it's just a really cool pitch. You have the old-timey looking Flash, kind of like a Jay Garrick spin, only even more old-timey. But I think they were just saving him for a special episode that involved Earth 19 heavily, and now you have that with this Cisco plot, like, come, take my place, join the Breachers, because Danny Trejo wants to go hang out with some dragons on the Dragon Planet. But if you're wondering, I don't think that Danny Trejo is anywhere in here. I think it's just Gypsy from the two of them. But I imagine that she's just been doing her normal thing, so Cisco has that heart-to-heart with her where he explains what her father told him. They do invoke some Tina McGee here. Like, you see this machine, it just says McGee on it, so that's why I think that they're in Mercury Labs here. I don't know when they're going to bring her back. Maybe she appears briefly during the episode. There's so much that they don't put in these trailers because I think that they're trying to market to younger people, and they're like, well, younger people, they don't care about these older Flash characters, which is totally false. More Jay Garrick, more Tina McGee, more people from the classic Flash TV show. Always bring back Mark Hamill. Side benefit of this next week's episode is that we actually probably have a good idea of what the Enlightenment device really does by the end of it. But also you have this moment here where Marlize is like, hey, maybe we don't kill them all. And the Thinker is just completely off his rocker. The more powers he absorbs, the less he's able to identify with other humans, the closer he gets to becoming a living god on Earth. So it just sounds like his character has this slow descent arc where he's like, you know what, maybe everybody does not deserve to be enlightened. While Marlize is trying to remind him of their original idea, like way back in episode 7 when you had the flashbacks to when they're at the university, where he's like, you know what, we can actually make things better. We can make the human race better. It wasn't originally an evil idea, it was just an idea to make the world a better place. So Coffee Shop Girl, the title of the episode is Therefore She Is, which is a reference to DeVoe's wife, because the Thinker origin story episode 7, was Therefore I Am, so this is just sort of the other side of that equation. So it sounds like she drives most of the episode. We see her wearing this little bandana. This is the Thinker's wife, Marlize, reading this notebook with the scribblings in it and that brain drawing. So it looks like maybe one of her old drawings, or maybe it used to belong to DeVoe. But the reason why I think this is the exact same notepad that Coffee Shop Girl is scribbling in is because it has this little fold-over flap So you look at Coffee Shop Girl back during episode 11, where she opens her notebook and you can see a little flap here on the side, just like the one that Marlize is holding here. And the notepad itself looks of similar size, the paper looks kind of the same. So the question is then, what does she have to do with the Thinkers family? Because there's been a lot of people, like a growing contingent of people I've seen in the comments that are like, what if Coffee Shop Girl is Marlize and DeVoe's daughter? The way she talked to Cisco and Elongated Man made it sound like she was from very far in the future, like not just a little ways in the future, but a long time, because the Oregon Trail shirt was meant to be quaint, like, oh yeah, it's retro. I'm gonna have to wait to see the episode if we get a Coffee Shop Girl scene and see if that gives any more credence to that Marlize Coffee Shop Girl theory. But the next episode, episode 21, is titled Harry in the Harrisons, and it's sort of a spin on the Council of Wells episode that they used to do, because the old council is supposed to boot him out because he's not as smart as he used to be, like they want the smartest person. But Cisco introduces him to another Council of Wells that they call the Harrisons, which maybe is more accepting of him, but there's no reference to Coffee Shop Girl or Speed Force symbols in the description for episode 21. So it does sound like they're going to stretch this Coffee Shop Girl thing out to the very end of the season. But just be prepared based on new evidence in next week's episode to change your Coffee Shop Girl theory. But I have a feeling that Marlize looking at that notebook isn't a coincidence, and that they'll somehow reference the notebook that Coffee Shop Girl was scribbling in. But I almost forgot. The other thing, too, is that some of these Speed Force symbols that they're scribbling in the notebook were actually on DeVoe's note board way back during episode 7, before his mind started to degenerate and things got really crazy. So just more evidence tying Coffee Shop Girl to DeVoe and Marlize. I will go on record as saying that I'll be fine with whatever they do with Coffee Shop Girl as long as whatever twist they're trying to pull off feels justified. Like, as long as they've earned it, I'll be okay with it. Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Mad Monkey. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. There'll be a new round when I post new DC later this week. There was new Aquaman footage at CinemaCon, but because the visual effects aren't done, I don't think that they're going to drop it till Comic-Con this summer. But just be prepared. There have been a bunch of trailers dropping, so I might do a separate video about that between all the Infinity War stuff that's happening. So obviously, a whole bunch of Infinity War posting in the next couple of days, so brace yourself. But click here for my no spoiler Infinity War review, and click here for my Flash episode video from this week. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.